What's up, you guys? We have breaking news. First of all, when I got this story, I immediately cried. I cried because I am a big fan of Sweetie Pies. I am a big fan of that show, and I feel like I'm a part of that family. So when I got the news of this foolery and mess, first and foremost, I cried. It, I broke down in tears. I've like real tears. So let me tell you, for people that do not know, welcome to Sweetie Pies star Tim Norman, charged with conspiracy and alleged murder for hire plot and death of his nephew. Former Welcome to Sweetie Pies reality star and entrepreneur James Timothy Norman has been arrested on federal charges and is currently being held in the Madison County Detention Center. According to reports, the 41-year-old was arrested today, August 18th, in Jackson, Mississippi. According to WLBT, Tim Norman, who starred on the popular OWN reality series with his mother and family, was charged with conspiracy to use interstate commerce facilities in the commission of a murder for hire resulting in death. According to the complaint, Tim Norman and a woman named Teresa Ellis and others conspired to commit a murder for hire in exchange for money. Reportedly, Teresa Ellis was an exotic dancer who lived in Memphis, Tennessee. The site reported that federal authorities claimed that in 2014, he secured a $450,000 life insurance policy on his 18-year-old nephew, Andre Montgomery. Norman was the sole beneficiary. Reportedly, prior to days leading up to Andre Montgomery's tragic murder, Teresa Ellis told him that she was coming to St. Louis on March 13th, 2016, a day before Andrew murdered. Tim Norman allegedly flew to St. Louis, Missouri from Los Angeles, California. On the following day, March 14th, 2016, Teresa Ellis and Tim Norman communicated using temporary phones. Temporary phones and used the temporary phones to communicate with Andrews and learn his location. Immediately after learning Andrew location, Teresa Ellis placed a call to Norman. Later in the evening, Andrew was shot and killed, and Teresa's phone location allegedly places her in the area of the murder at the time of the shooting. Immediately following the murder, Teresa placed a call to Tim Norman and then began traveling to Memphis, Tennessee. After Andrew's murder, Teresa deposited cash to varieties bank accounts. In 2016, Tim Norman is said to have contacted a life insurance company in an attempt to collect the life insurance policy he obtained on his nephew. Teresa Ellis was charged by the complaint with conspiracy to use interstate commerce facility in the commission of murder for hire resulting in death. And of course, the Jackson brand had the full complaint, but it's so sad that his own his uncle. I mean, his uncle, wow, hearing this story is so sad that his own uncle would do that. Will, was a part of his nephew's murder. You supposed to be your nephew protector. To me, that is so tragic to see Tim from Sweetie Pies to put an insurance policy out on your nephew and to conspire to murder him for hire. And you really thought you got away, and for him to sit on the show and to act like everything was like great and everything, you know, him being so hurt over, and just look at him just smiling. Did y'all see that? Just it's just sick. It's just like really, really sick to me, and it saddens me and it hurts me to see this situation, see this. And it's like, I you know, this is not too far-fetched. Never in a million years I would have think that he would kill his nephew or hire his nephew to get killed. I mean, hire someone to kill his nephew. I think that is so sad and that is so disturbing, and it hurts me to my core. Because when I heard this story, I was up and I just cried because, again, I am a fan of that family, and it looked like I was a part of that family. But when you love money and when you so in love with money and you picking all these restaurants that you couldn't afford, and this was right around the time where he had a restaurant in LA. This was when he was living in LA. It's just so sad, y'all. Like when I saw the news, heard the news, I don't know if anybody want to call in and give their opinion about it, but I really feel it for Miss Robbie. That have to just literally bring her to tears, because Miss Robbie, when I tell you the embarrassment of dealing with it, this is tarnishing the brand. Now that she have to mourn her grandson's death, and you have to mourn your son is the reason why your nephew or your grandson is dead. Like, I'm praying for Miss Robbie, but Tim Norman is not an innocent person. He was allegedly abusive with Jennifer. He been in prison for 10 years. So he's not a typical, you know, outstanding or upstanding citizen. But I would have never in a million years would have just somebody told me, I wouldn't believe it. Like, what? Are you serious? You would do something like that? So when I got the news, and I'm like, everybody was sending me this across the country. I was getting bombarded with DMs. Everybody was sending me DMs about this story. And we just got through talking about this story, the whole thing when his mom went off. Let me see if I can find that. We just got through talking about this family, because they yet had something going on previously about a month ago. Let me see if I can bring that up. Can I bring that up? Give me a second, you guys. We just got not even a month ago. Is this it? Yeah, about a month ago. Let me see if I can rewind this. And this is when Miss Robbie went off on the Western. So let's go to the phone lines and I'll replay that old video. Anonymous, you live on the air. Wow. Hey, who this?
This is T.
Go ahead, T.
I just want to say that this is a very sad and unfortunate situation. There's the opportunity to meet Andre. I went to 2014. We were out in, I traveled from Los Angeles to Ferguson to protest for Mike Brown, and actually went to SweetiePie's restaurant while we were there, and Andre happened to be working there that day. and he waited on us. And he was a very, very personable young man, and he was very, very nice young man. And because I watched the show, and I remember I told him, I said, Andre, I watch you on the TV show all the time. He said, yeah, but I still got to work. And we just started laughing, and it was very, very sad when I heard that he had got killed. And now to find out that his uncle had something to do with it, or possibly trying to collect on a life insurance policy, is just beyond sad for what Miss Robbie is going through. To lose her grandson, her son that got her only grandson from her son got killed. You just can't even imagine what pain this woman is going through right now.
Oh,
so
yes.
I ask for prayers for Miss Robbie and that family. We're on the outside looking in. All we can do is go by what the feds are saying based on the indictments and the documents. It seems to be a pretty solid case with cell phone data and GPS tracking and Western Union transfers between Tim and this stripper that set up the murder. So I just think we need to pray for Miss Robbie and I pray for the family.
All right. I feel you on that. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you for taking my call.
No problem. All right. The number is 646-716-8447. 9563. Calling you on air.
Hi, Robbie. It's Candy from California.
Hey.
And I was shocked also. And I was shocked also when I heard when the news broke. And it's crazy because for me, I'm like, dude, you came out of prison and hit the lotto and blew it. I don't know too many people that come out of prison and walk into the ownership of a restaurant, TV, fame, all that kind of stuff, women, just everything. And it just wasn't enough for you. And I just remember how the show just kind of turned when he got murdered. Like my heart just broke for Robbie. She kept saying, somebody knows something. Somebody knows something.
She did.
And then looking back at those, clips, he's a sociopath. When I tell you, I didn't pick up nothing. Even looking at the clips now, I don't see anything that would say he did something. He had something to do with it. He really played that off.
Absolutely.
Went back to the scene of the crime, walking down the street with his mother, ice water in his veins.
To me, that had to be so sad because his life was already set up for greatness. That's greed because you next in line to pretty much run your mom's empire. And now you're probably going to spend the rest of your life in prison. And that's probably going to cause your mom, Miss Robbie, to even grieve more. And I hope and pray that she can get through this. I'm praying for, mom at this, to find out that this is somebody, that your brother tried to, you know what I mean? That's.
Yes, I do.
That's crazy.
It's absolutely just insane. And to do that with the number one show on TV.
Yes.
That's just gut. That's just greedy. And Robbie, Jenae, Jennifer, check your life insurance policies. Make sure that there's not an open policy somewhere. That man right there, you need to watch him.
I feel you on that.
Child that he doesn't take care of. You know what I'm saying? The child that he doesn't take care of, he's just greedy.
Yes, I really feel you on that. And like I said, I'm praying for that family. And wow, that because they just had some mess going on last month. And it's just crazy. I don't even know if the restaurant will be able to survive this or Ms. Robbie to survive this because that's embarrassment. Everybody know your business. That's that. And, Ms. Robbie is in her 80s. She's not she's up in age and she shouldn't have to go through this, but this is crazy. I think her son will be the reason why you know, and then also you got to watch for her protection to make sure she ain't got no hits out on her.
Who are you kidding?
Yeah.
I mean, just for her to wait for her son to come home. She survived her son coming home from prison just for him to be a fucking disappointment.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that is crazy. And it's crazy. And that's probably why that restaurant didn't get off the ground in LA. Because you do remember that restaurant, I think it went out of business. They had to close it down. And I'm wondering, was that the seed money to help keep that restaurant afloat? Because he really tried to steal from it. Well, he did steal from Miss Robbie. She had to sue him because he was like that, opening up stuff in her name without her permission.
Seriously, like all the money you was getting from the restaurant, from the TV show, it still wasn't enough.
It was greed.
From your own mother that way.
Greed. That's that.
Absolutely.
And that's for the love of money. And that scripture said, "For the love of money is root of all evil." That he's a living testament of that scripture. Like that, for that love of that money and that power, and it just corrupted him. And it's no telling. It's no telling. Well, I'm definitely praying for the family. But thank you for calling in.
Thanks, Wiley, for taking my call, baby.
Okay, now.
Later.
All right. 4098, calling you on the air.
Hello?
Hey, go ahead.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh my God, I cannot believe I got through. Well, I don't know nothing that's going on, Wiley. I don't know shit. I'm drinking wine, but I love you.
I love you too. Wow, okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to call in and give you my support. Thank you so much.
Wow, this is the first time you calling in?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. Well, thank you for calling in. Don't drink too much.
Okay.
Why?
I know it's the wine. Okay, thank you, Wiley. Love you. Okay, bye.
All right, love you. Did that just happen? For the people that are just joining in, that gentleman that you see smiling was the part that he was the reason why his nephew is dead. He put out a hit on his nephew, took out a $400,000 insurance policy out on his nephew. And the FBI, as well as the police that with the St. Louis, they came together and they found out, they have evidence to prove that gentleman you see smiling, Tim, hired someone to kill his nephew for $400,000 insurance policy. For the people that are just joining in, that'll let you know. But we will take some calls. So please speak on the subject, people. Anonymous, you live on the air. Anonymous? Hello, turn me down the background. You live.
Hello, Wiley.
Hey, go ahead, speak on it.
How are you, Wiley?
Yes, I'm doing good.
You know, Wiley, this is so sad. I'm totally devastated by this news. This man has devastated his entire family over greed. You know, smiling in their faces for over 4 years, knowing he paid to have his nephew killed. Is this his brother's child?
Yes, that's his brother's child. Yes, the one that was
It's
killed.
His brother's child.
The one that was killed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there with that sinister smile on a mugshot photo. You know, he is a total sociopath. You can never trust a man that has hips the size of a refrigerator, Wiley. I believe his ex-wife now and that bimbo, Jennifer Williams, you know.
Yeah.
He needs to be locked up, but he needs to be locked up for the rest of his life. And just have the prisoners rearrange those 18-wheeler hits of his every single day of his life. My heart just truly goes out to Miss Robbie and the entire family. I'm very saddened by this, Wiley.
Absolutely. I agree. Me too. Me too.
You keep your head up, Wiley, and have a good evening. Okay.
Thank you so much for calling in. The number is 646-716-8447. Yes. she bringing up Jennifer Williams because she had to get a restraining order on Tim, and she said it was an abusive relationship. But let's go to the phone line. 7035, calling you on the air. 7035, you're live on the air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey, go ahead. Speak on it.
It's 0735.
Yes, go ahead, sister.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to Tim, he mistreated his mother. Tim mistreated his mother, his own life, the people around him. People try to show him love. But love won't love you no more. I mean, how long can love you if you don't love nobody but yourself?
That's true.
And on top of that, Jennifer, from Best of Our Lives, her husband never loved her or anything about her. Her mother passed, she was going through stuff. She met Tim. He get some broken promises while he was dating a whole nurse on the side. I mean, it is what it is. And I love Drake. I love his nephews. I love all of them. Robbie James. That's why you can just put your business out on the line. About people will find a way to manipulate it so they can come out on top.
I feel you on that. Thank you for calling in.
I'm gonna call back in a minute, okay?
Okay, now.
I love you, Wiley.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
All right. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hey, Miss Wiley.
Hello.
Yes, honey. I just had to call the district girl.
Okay, I need you. I need you to speak up in the phone. Hold on 1 second. I need you to speak up in the phone. I need you to speak up in the phone.
Armand Wiggins exclusive with Gio.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Tim and we're talking about SweetiePie's. We're not talking about that. All right, thank you for calling in.
That's what I want to talk about, honey.
Okay, we I don't, send it to my email so we can verify whatever you're trying to say. Send it to.
Your name is mentioned, honey. Gio mentioned your name, darling.
Okay.
I just wanted to know your opinion on why would Gio mention your name on the Armand Wiggins show, honey.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You take that up to him, but they're definitely in my prayers. But we're talking about Tim and SweetiePie's. But we thank you so much, sister. You're a little late with your teeth. Oh, you're a little late with all that. Call back another time, child, please. 8519, call you on air.
Hello, Wiley. This is Madam Whitbass, and I just had to call in and comment. What a dirty piece of poop this Tim Norman guy is. How is somebody to kill your own nephew? You take out a life insurance for $450,000. I mean, you want money that bad, and you just sit around and be like, you know what? I could take out a life insurance policy on somebody. He probably thought about his mama first, said no, she's too popular,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'll take that little nigga out. And you go ahead and execute this plan, and this Stacey just going to go on by and keep on living. And he got away with it, well, so he thought, but he was living in hell, I imagine, for over 2.5 years. But oh God. And I feel sorry for his mother, because I'm sure she's just toiling in her mind, like, how could I have given birth to a thing that would do something like this?
That's true.
And I mean, you think they just, I'm sure they haven't gotten over the tragedy of losing her grandson. And now it's like they just got knocked in the head with a brick.
Yeah.
To find out that Tim was the cause of this. they grieving all over again. And worse.
Come
I
on.
just hope that the detective sat them down with all the evidence and gave them time to have Tim come over and all family members just sat around and whooped his butt. I hope that's what happened.
He was in
before
Mississippi.
they took him to jail.
He was in Mississippi when they caught him, and he was out in Mississippi with a restaurant, and so that's pretty much what happened in that regard. But I am yet praying for the family because, and definitely praying for that child's mother. You know what I'm saying? It's all around just sad.
So he took that money, opened up a restaurant.
I don't know what he did with the money, but let's be clear. He was opening up restaurants during that time. You know what I mean? He was opening up restaurants during that time, and there's no telling. And then at one point, you remember, he tried to be a rapper. He wanted to get into doing rap too, because he wanted Beyonce dad to manage him. Matthew knows to manage him. So it was a lot of things that he was doing. I just believe that he was just a criminal and around too much money and did not know how to be content of what God blessed him with, and he got greedy.
You know, Wiley, this is the first I'm ever hearing about him and SweetiePie's.
Wow.
SweetiePie's sounds very vaguely familiar to me.
Wow, it was a show on network, so you probably wasn't.
They had their own.
Yeah, it was a show on network. It's a restaurant in St. Louis. She had a couple of restaurants. She used to sing background. She used to be a background singer for Tina Turner. But I was shocked. But a lot of Black folks watched that. That's when the OWN network was new.
Yeah, that's probably where I heard SweetiePie's, but I don't have Oprah's network or anything, so I've never seen the show. But this is really the first. Just this evening, I was doing some research and reading about it, and I was like, I just tried to just sit here and on my own channel and try to get into that headspace. Like, how do you comfortably arrive at a decision to have your nephew murdered so you can get $450,000? How would somebody think of to do something like that and be okay with it?
It's crazy. What people would do for a coin, for the love of money. People would, there was a record that came out for it, and it got some truth in it. You really love it. It's some things that you would do.
Let me tell you people something. All of y'all in the chat. I don't know how old you are. You could be young. You could be a little bit older. But don't be telling your children, especially when they teenagers and young adults, what you going to leave them, how much money they're going to get, and all of that. Especially when they're young and impulsive as teenagers, because you freaking crazy anyway when you're a teenager. And then even after that, you don't tell nobody about what you want to leave them and about life insurance policies until you really, really, really have to.
Right.
Because people get in their mind, damn, I got to wait for you to die. Shoot, I can use that $50,000 today.
Because it was a woman that in Chicago, she had a salon, and she told her child how much she was going to leave him, and he killed it. It was a conspiracy for murder. And a man years later passed to find out that her son was the reason why she was murdered. And he did that for the insurance money. Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I would never tell people, well, I'm going to leave these. They'll be plotting, especially these days of coronavirus and Trump in office. People having a hard time.
And if you also can look like with her nephew, he was so easy to plot him because he started to get with the wrong crowd. He started to get with the wrong people. So it was easy to set him up and to make it seem like it was a gang war, because during that time he would post all this stuff on social media with guns and gang. So he was heading down the wrong path. So it was I believe he was an easy target. I do believe he probably wanted probably put Miss Robbie on the list, because if you do that for your nephew, you'll do it to your own mama. But her being so high profile, he probably said, who's next? He looked at his nephew. And then you have to watch out people getting insurance policy out on folks like that. You have to be very careful with that. And then they just shortly pass after that, because that's motive right there. And then you conspire. So I'm glad. Shout out to the FBI. Shout out to the Federal Bureau of Investigation for working with St. Louis police. Shout out to that, for them to put that investigation in and to do that. I give them kudos to not giving up on this case, because we would have never known if the FBI and the police, if they would have just dropped the ball on this.
Well, I believe that's like a red flag with insurance companies. I believe a new red flag pops up on their computer screen when somebody has a life insurance policy that was taken out like in January and the person is dead by June. I think that a red flag pops up, and I think it automatically has to be sent to the proper authorities. Not to say that, it's definitely some shady stuff going on, but I think it's just protocol for them to look into it.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that. You're exactly right. And that is why, I believe some red flags happening. They had to investigate, and it took them years, 2016 to 2020. So they really was doing some digging. Maybe they got a tip, because I'm like, wow, it took y'all this long. Maybe somebody spilled the beans. Maybe that exotic dancer couldn't deal with the guilt. You know what I'm saying? But somebody had to cooperate with the federal authorities in this regard,
Maybe somebody, the people who did it for him, wanted more money.
Wanted more money. You're exactly right. And say, I'll swell on you if you don't. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just all around. It's just a bad situation. It's really bad. Really sad. And they said they matched phone records. Yeah, I'm looking at it. That policy was big. It was. That was a big policy. Over $400,000. Wow.
$450,000.
Yeah. Like,
wow.
This to let you know that you cannot trust nobody when you're especially when money is involved. People will do the most sick, twisted things. And Tim showed you who he was when he started to do his mom dirty, opening up all the restaurants without her knowledge. And she had to sue him to stop. And she said, "You tarnishing my name, my brand, opening up all these restaurants." And he did it to his own mama. So it's just like, it ain't looking good for him. And the reason why I think he was smiling is because he know this is going to go viral. Everybody going to see it. And I don't see him getting out of prison. I don't see it. Because when I look at the affidavit, when I'm looking at the case, it's a strong case against him. Yeah.
And then who he gonna call? You can't call no family members. So like, hey, can you put something in my commissary?
Oh no, that.
Did he talk for you?
It's really it's sad, because child, they in the point of grieving. They grieving, and not only just grieving, man, they hurt, like, embarrassed. You know what I mean? Do you understand like what's going on? Like, you got to deal with that, and Miss Robbie got to deal with all of this, and it's money on the line, so they brand on the line, and for him to do that, that's crazy.
I think, look, it's just now coming out. All them family members right now, they still in shock.
Absolutely.
They in shock right now. They haven't even gotten to the anger part, because they got to get to denial first. Absolutely.
And he probably telling them, "Oh, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I was set up." Maybe when the federal investigators involved, child, you pretty much done, because and it was a process. Before they picked him up, they made sure all the dots was dotted and the T's were crossed before they arrested him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So that is just so embarrassing and just downright selfish. You know, he couldn't have thought of all the repercussions. Well, what if I get caught? You know, what is this going to do to my mother? What is this going to do to my cousins? And, you know, I'm sure he didn't even think that far. He just thought as far as him getting that money from the life insurance policy and what he was going to do with that money.
Because somebody posts right here and said he failed to submit proper information, so they deny his claims. So he actually ended up paying $9,000 to have his nephew killed. Like, it's crazy.
Wait, so they didn't get processed?
So I don't think he got. I think if what Kelly is saying, because I didn't read it in the article that he was denied the claim, because you know they got to investigate before they get the money. So I'm not 100%, but somebody just posted there and say he failed to submit the proper information.
All you need is a death certificate.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they have to investigate that. They definitely have to investigate that. They didn't. They said they didn't pay it out. He never got the money. It's in the affidavit. Okay. I got to read the affidavit. Okay, I didn't read it. He never got the money. So I guess the red flag and all of that. So now it kind of makes sense. I'm like, well, okay. So they probably went on and contacted the federal authorities, the police, because you know the insurance, they deal with this type of stuff. And you know, because everybody try to eat more often than we think, you know. So they probably alerted them, and it probably was a process in years. And once they found out all that phone records and everything, he got he got it. There's no telling what else he's a part of or what else he did. You know, it's just it is sad. It is. I was still shocked though.
It is sad. But how did he not look in the mirror? And you remember the cartoons when somebody would do something stupid and they look in the mirror and their whole head turned into a jackass?
It's crazy.
That's how I think he must have felt when time went by and he ain't getting none of that money.
It's crazy. I'm looking right here. I'm just looking in the comments. Yeah, I think he would have probably killed his mom. I think his mom probably was next. You know, it's really makes you wonder. But I just think now, I think whatever she's gonna leave it to her sisters. She's not gonna leave it to him. I think whatever Miss Robbie had that she was gonna leave to her son, she's gonna leave it all to her sister. Leave it probably to her nephew.
She probably told him that to begin with.
Yeah,
How he felt, you know.
Absolutely. You making sense. She probably did tell him, I'm not gonna leave you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, and it's just so sad. And then too, he probably got bad. Maybe he thought that Miss Robbie was gonna leave it to Andre instead of him. You know, people get jealous. You know what I'm saying? And I'm shocked.
She probably would have, because her other son, which is the senior to the victim, he's already deceased, right?
Yes, he is. Yes. So I don't know what was the motive. This case is still fresh, so we just giving opinions about what they feel. So if anybody else want to call in, the number is 646-716-8447. That is the number. So if you want to call in and give your thoughts on this case, but I had to have this conversation today, and they say insurance companies don't play. My son passed less than 2 years after I took out a policy for my whole family, and they wanted to investigate. I had to curse them out. Oh yeah, they're not up and just going to give out money like that. They're not. So they're not. So if you look right here, I'm looking at here on March 2006 after Montgomery murder, a man identified himself as Norman and used a phone number to be in Norman call. What was that? Fornisters in an attempt to collect on the life insurance policy Norman had obtained on Montgomery in October of 2014. Despite several additional efforts to collect on the policy since Montgomery murder, the first have yet to pay out the policy due to Norman's failure to provide several requested documents. There you go. So I'm gonna put that on the screen so y'all can see that. And I you know, so they probably was asking for a lot of stuff.
You know what? And probably because I know one is a death certificate, and perhaps maybe he needed a document from the police department or whatever, the Fed, stating that he's been cleared as a suspect or whatever.
I think he probably been a suspect for a while. We just finally getting to know the information.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
And you know, it makes me think that he probably had a conflict with the nephew, because I can't imagine him, you know, the nephew being his favorite nephew, and you have him killed. There must have been a lot of turmoil. Must be a lot of turmoil going in that family, you know, prior to this.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of stuff that we don't know. He probably thought the nephew was disrespectful. There's no telling. Probably thought because the mom probably gave him more attention, and it's really no telling what we would never know. But what we do know, Tim is sitting up in jail, and you know right now, so we shall see.
And you know, hopefully he'll stay there for the rest of his days. And I hope unkind things happen to him every day of his life in prison.
Yeah, and well, thank you. And I don't think it was a beef. I just think that Tim it was a target. Tim put the hit out on, put the money. It was money. It was money. It was greed. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, and have a great show.
All right, thank you. All right, so the number is 646-716-8447. Let me post it in the chat if anybody want to call in. Wow, y'all are really into this subject, and you know, like the producers across the country sent this to me over. It was like I got over 10 DMs with this story, and everybody was sending it to me, and I was like, wow, what the world's going on? And they was like, wow, did you hear about this story? And I was like, no. And once I finally heard about it and put it up on the screen, and just I cried, you know, I really did. Let me show you about a month ago when they were having their beef. When Miss Robbie was saying what she said, just to refresh our memory of actually covering this. And that was like back in June.
Yeah, grandbaby, this is a mess. But here we go. This is why we got this to say. Oh, wait a minute. Is this on here? Oh, wait a minute. Did she delete it? I don't know if she deleted it or not.
You put me in a position where I got to defend myself because you got my 83-year-old mother out here on the internet going back and forth. You keep on calling the house, screaming at her, asking her why she's speaking the truth. Well, I got to speak the truth myself, you know. And you want to paint me out to be a deadbeat dad. Why don't you tell people how the last time I picked my son up, I had him for an hour and a half, and he started blowing me up to bring him back because he had to do his homework and take a bath. And as I get to the house, I take him out of his car seat. He run to you. You stand in the garage. He runs into you. I bent over in the car. I'm getting his Happy Meal and his toys up on him and his backpack. You let the garage down on me, and the police come out of the backyard. You had the police waiting on me in the backyard when I was coming to drop my baby off. You set me up. You don't do that to no black man. You don't do that to no man. That's the man that spent half his life, spent 2.5 years in prison. There's nothing there's nothing you can do to make me ever forgive you for that. There's nothing you can do to explain or justify that. You had the police waiting for me in the backyard. You set me up when I was coming with my baby from the playground. I would never come to that house again, ever. So you're not going to handle me and tell me to bring my son's toys over there. And most of the time, all the stuff he got in the house, I got anyway. He don't even know I got him all that stuff. And for a child support, for me being a deadbeat, why don't you give me my change? Talk about a court order. Why don't you tell everybody how we was going to court, you was threatening to tell all about me and my mama business about the different things we own, and this bank account stay here, this bank account there. After IRS and already came and got us for $500,000. I said, IRS already on me. Why don't you tell them how you threaten to tell the feds this and that? Tell people that. And why don't you give me my change for child support concern? Why don't you say that 5-bedroom, 5-bath house with the waterfall in the back and the swimming pool and the big jacuzzi? Why don't you say that, give me my change? Why don't you say that big boy demon, your BMW you got, that I put you in after you didn't want the Porsche no more, after you didn't want the BMW before that, and go back and get that Chrysler Sebring you driving when I got you. Give me my change. Them $10,000 one-of-one bags and Versace chains and all them dresses that you didn't know nothing about, them Louboutins. Give me my change, my furniture that you're still sleeping on. Did you buy new sheets? Huh? All them TVs and everything in the house? Why don't you give me my change? I ain't working no more. I'm not on TV. I don't have an image to protect. I'm not getting the TV check. I don't have to answer the phone. All can't call me no more. Like, Tim, don't say this, Tim. Be nice because Tim, you got to protect the brand. It's good for the show. I ain't got to protect the check no more. I ain't got that no more. So I ain't got it. The people probably gonna say I owe you about 400 or so. I ain't got it. Why don't you say some of that stuff and give me my change? Why don't you do that? And as far as me being abusive, why don't you tell people how you used to come up? Why don't you tell the people to call down to the marquee and ask Andre and Melanie how they used to put you out of the club and you come in there and try to start fights with me? How they had to call the police on you when you outside on the parking lot kicking my car? Huh? Why don't you tell them I used to call people over to the house, call my security over and you taking hammers to my car? I can't leave. You coming to the restaurant messing with me. Why don't you tell them how we was in Beverly Hills with the whole family out here with all these white folks and you drunk in the lobby. They got to pull you up off of me. You taking my money out of my bags and throwing my money all over the lobby. They got to go to your mother's room and get your mother to come stop you. And I'm abusive. Why don't you tell that? Why don't you tell all that? And why don't you tell them how the reason I left you in the first place was because you decided to sleep with the help. You slept with the cameraman. Why don't you tell them that? All in period, we had to get a whole new TV crew around season 3 because you slept with the cameraman. Shout out to Jose. I ain't got no ill feelings for you, bro. She needed some attention. You gave her that, but you was with the boss and you slept with the help. So that's why I left in the first place, and I didn't turn back. And every time we didn't want to film with you, you threatened to take my son. You would let my son film. That's the only reason you was filming the show. And my mama forgave you. My mama forgave you because she loved that baby. So I stayed quiet. And they let you film. Because I was trying to be a good dude. My mama forgave you, Monique and everybody else forgave you. I ain't never forgive you. Why don't you tell them how you were never, my son was never even on the last episode, last season of the show at all. Money could have went towards his college fund. They want to bring him to LA. He can't come unless you come. He can't come to Houston unless you come. We got a family trip down to Orlando. You come on down to Orlando. You gonna let my son film with me. Why don't you tell them that? Monique can't bring him to see me. My mama can't bring him to see me. Charles can't bring him to see me. I begged you for years to see my son. I begged you. I've been patient all this time, hoping you get over it. I was happy you had a new guy. I pray you stop thinking about my ass. But you got a new guy and you still calling me, crying, snotty nose. The night before your wedding, you called me crying, snotty nose. I told you about that and Mary that can do. He's a good guy. I ain't never heard nothing bad about him.
Your shoe will go live in 5 seconds.
I ain't talking around my son. One person told me nothing bad about that guy. I'm supposed to just do. So I've been quiet, trying to give you your time. Now you want to take him from my mama and my family can't see him either? You want to put me out to the world to be a bad guy? And people ask why Monique ain't dealing with Monique. How come Monique don't stop this? Monique don't fuck with you no more. You want to run around town like you a business person? Why don't you tell me about I started that business? I put up all the money, got the paperwork done. That business was for Monique. And you took half the money. You took half the money from Monique and you have Monique doing all the work. And then you took the money and went to open a gym for your guy. But this is cool. No problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Monique just separated herself. You know what I'm saying? We separated and got Monique a whole new business. She good. Why don't you tell the people how every time Monique had a new guy, somebody she was talking to, you creep behind her back and deal with the new guy she talking to. That's why Monique don't deal with you. Why don't you want to tell all that? Huh? You don't want to tell all that, do you? You want to do the first thing a lot of women do nowadays when they upset. They want to say a guy's abusive. Man,
OMG. This was a lot. We found out that Jenae slept with the cameraman, according to Tim.
And so that was that. Let me see if I can. Do I have Ms. Robbie? Let me see.
This stuff going. So it's got to be about the money, because why wouldn't you let him see his baby?
What's
Let
on
me see if I can put
No, like tell me. Well, it's on.
Still on social media running her mouth. My problem is with me and Jenae. It has nothing to do with Tim. So why all of a sudden that you putting out there that Tim was abusive? Now, Tim was in town to see his baby, and you wouldn't let him. So it's all about the money, because if you was with a dude that wasn't working, didn't have a job, you wouldn't be going through all this. So either you're trying to get more media attention or whatever. I'm not in the fight. I've tried to stay out of you and Tim's life, but right is right. And I've tried to tell you what's right, and I've tried to tell Tim what's right. But now that you wouldn't let me see my grandbaby on a day that I thought I was going to do it, because I keep that baby all the time. So now it seemed to me that it's when it's convenient for you, you let him come over. So you knew I had waited all day to see that baby. If it wasn't but for 15 or 20 minutes, I had bought him a motorcycle. His dad had bought him a video chair that she told us to get. And I told her from the beginning that his dad said he was going to come to town. I'm trying to talk to my son as a mother, tell him the right thing to do. But as a baby mama, you want to keep this stuff going. So it's got to be about the money, because why wouldn't you let him give the gift to the baby? You have never let me bring his toys to your house, but all of a sudden you want to bring the gifts to his house. Tim doesn't know your husband. They've never talked. They've never met. And now I'm protecting my son. I don't want him going into something that he don't know what it is. He never met the man. What man goes to another man's house, especially if he's been with his woman, without them having an understanding? Girl, this is real life, so get with it. Now, you keep trying to stay on this thing. I stopped, but I'm not going to let you attack Tim. So why would you stay with him all these time? And here's 9 years after TJ, and you bring it up that he's abusive. So what is the problem? Now you're trying to get at Tim. Tim has never said one word to you. I've kept him off of this social media. Tim just don't say nothing. But at one point, I was trying to mend the two of you so you could be co-parents, but seemed like that's not working. Now this is going too far, and I don't want to get back on here, but if I have to respond, I will, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And the truth don't need no support. Receipts and all that bullshit don't count. Now, Miss Robbie is 80, but Miss Robbie is still a fighter, and I will get back out there and fight. So please stop going there.
She said received all that bullshit. Miss Robbie! Why you ain't out there, Miss Robbie? You need to be out there frying some chicken. Why you doing all that? Go, baby. Go in that kitchen, Miss Robbie, and fry up some chicken and some macaroni and cheese. Look at that. Let me go, Mona. They said let me get up on the Scott. Oh my God, this is too much. We will open up the phone line, because I want y'all to know, how do y'all handle baby mama, baby daddy drama? If you want to call in, the number is 646-716-84.
So that was when, Ms. Robbie and they got into it with Jenae, and it was like a big thing, and we reported on that, and so now we are unfortunately talking about Tim. See his picture, and now this is real of him actually doing that, being a part of, and this conspiracy of murder. And now he is sitting in jail right now. So the people that are just joining us, Tim is in jail because it's murder for hire. He was the reason why his nephew was murdered, because he hired folks to murder his nephew for a $450,000 insurance policy. And so that is definitely what happened. And that's this picture I have on the screen. So if anybody else want to call in and give their thoughts, I would love to hear from you. When people say we get the same 4 to 5 same callers, it is what it is. You can hit the number. The number is free if you strong enough to call in. I don't want, if you're strong, if you willing to, if you want to speak on it and actually calling in, you're welcome to do so. But this situation is very sad. Like I said, I was crying in it, and I want to say shout out to Lovely T because she gave me inspiration for this title. Also want to give a shout out to her because I did watch that. They said he beat up Jennifer Williams for Basketball Wives. He's crazy. So I do remember that. Well, that was like a whole situation that went on. And I'm just reading y'all comments. I just read he was in jail for armed robbery. The man bent about money. Yes, he's like definitely money hungry. And you see that picture, and definitely I'm praying for the family because this is something that I definitely I'm praying for. I can't wait him. He's probably in jail watching us on YouTube, smiling from his cell phone. They said maybe Tim never healed, probably for being in prison for so long from prison. So let me go to his page and see what they're talking about on his page. Give me a second. Let me see. Let me see what he. Okay. Well, right now, Howard, we're opening for Jackson, Mississippi, send resumes. Inquiries to SweetiePie's at Gmail. I guess you could forget about that. Because he was in, okay, he got a new restaurant in there. Just came here to read the comments. What Charlie doing up in there? Got your nephew killed and pretending to be so sad on the show. Was Robbie love Andre to death, jealous, why hip punk? Somebody said you deserve hell, badly built. Oh my gosh. These people, they are really letting them have it in the comments. They are definitely in the comments letting them have it. Who else here from the Shade Room? I just came here to read the comments. You kill your own nephew for insurance money. It be your own people. Ours, rest in peace, Dre. We love you, boy. Stop, y'all. We gotta wait to hear his side to see if the hips lie or not. They say, I knew the story of the boy's death did seem right when it came out. This is disgusting for some damn money. You finna be UNDA, the jail. They said Dre meant a lot to us, and this is what you do. I couldn't believe it when his sister said it because it sounded crazy, but she was right. We will never get to talk, see, or hug Dre again. He was worth way more than money. I hope you really weren't that money hungry, your own blood. I guess he didn't know he was about to get arrested when he posted this. Was it really worth it? Damn, your own nephew, sick. You're about to lose your job. Get this dance. You're about to be cooking in prison. I know you couldn't be trusted when you went behind your mom's back for that failed restaurant in Houston. That allegation of abuse, you should have never been let out of prison. I hope you're not guilty of this crime. Damn, you're about to be in prison. I hope that story isn't true. If you kill Andre, may God have mercy on your soul. Poor Miss Robbie. It's really murder for hire for me. He's fresh prison meat. Had your nephew killed. Where's the comments? Your own nephew, Tim, for the love of money? How can you set your nephew up like that? When they did the episode with your nephew Memorial, you show no emotion. Money hungry smile. You have to give them that sweet cookie up in a penitentiary. Come to ATL. I hope this isn't true. Wow. They are really letting them have it in the comments. And you all heard it here first. And we broke this exclusive to you all. Let me see if anybody is in the queue for callers. But I don't know what more to say. Thank you to the moderators, Almond Brown 09, Tori Mom, J Real, Nurse Nicole, Blue Skies, Puppy Love, B Scales, Mouth Open, Shantae, Day, TLC and 3, D1. Shout out to all the moderators. What more can I say? It's just wow. Like this really make me just like, you just never know what people would do on this. So you all heard it here first on the Wiley Show. So we want to thank you all for the show that we allow you to express your feelings. I think we were the first shows to allow people to call in to give their opinions on it. So I want to thank each and every one of you all for calling in and allowing us to get your opinion. So thank you for that. I'm looking right here and just reading y'all comments, and this was a wow. Well, I wasn't even planning on doing a show like this. I'm like speechless. I was literally on my couch, reading a book, and I got bombarded with these messages, and I said, wow, should I go live? But I had to cry first, and I didn't want to come on camera crying. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hey, Robbie.
Hey.
Man, this is so sad.
Yes, it is.
This is really, 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 really sad. And it's just crazy. Like, to think somebody that you're supposed to be so close with would do something like that to you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine what the family is going through. Like, this dude is psycho. And it just sounds like he's just had, like, his whole life, a lot of enablers. People just supporting his BS even when he's wrong. I mean, what would make you even think to take out a life insurance policy on your nephew to turn around and kill your nephew for that very same life insurance policy that you took out on him at 16? So you had already plotted at the age of 16, when your nephew was 16, that you was going to have him murdered for some money? Like, are you, like, really, like, was he that desperate, that money hungry, that he plotted this for 2 years? 2 years. Because he didn't have it done right away, because it probably would have been too suspicious. So he waited 2 years to have this guy, to have his nephew murdered for money that he couldn't even get.
That's
How
true.
crazy is that? You have to have the death certificate. And he probably didn't even tell his family he had took out a life insurance policy on his nephew. So to think about it, to go to the mom and say, hey, listen, I need a copy of his death certificate, so she gonna be like, for what? Why do you need a copy of his death certificate? The family probably didn't even know he even had a life insurance policy on his nephew. So he was just undercutting everything.
That's true.
Because why else would he have gotten the money? Because if he needed paperwork and there's certain documents that he needs, he definitely would need to provide proof of death by providing a copy of the death certificate. And if he couldn't get his hands on that, they weren't going to release no money to him.
You're right.
So it's like he took out a policy. The nephew probably didn't even know he even had or the family, the mom, nobody probably even knew that he took out this policy on this kid to turn around and have this kid murdered, to turn around and try and recover those funds. Like, how sick, how money hungry are you? This is just ridiculous. Like, I'm just literally blown away. I'm like baffled, but it tells you, like, you really cannot trust anyone. And then people, just like, even like I'm saying, like, wow, people is just like, wow, like, I can't believe, why would a person do this? Why would a person do that? Just look at everything that's going on around. People do things for the stupidest reasons, and you'd be like, wow, why would you even do that for that? But you don't understand what's going on in these people's heads and what makes them do the stupidest things that they do. Like, this is just dumb. This is just dumb, and then to think that you wasn't going to get caught. Wow. Listen, I hope I hope they handle him the correct way, and he needs the maximum because you plotted this for 2 years to murder your 18-year-old nephew. That is sick. You sick in the head. You literally got a problem. And I don't know. I'm just like, I'm baffled. That's basically all I can say. Like, and like I'm just baffled. Like, and you would think that our people would have a little bit more common sense, but money makes people do anything. Money makes people do anything, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Especially when you love it like that. Wow.
I mean, but my thing is like, it can't. How much money in the world can it be to make you do something like that, and to think that you're not going to have repercussions behind it? Like, okay, you do this, you get this money. Now, what you gonna have to deal with on the back end? And then in his case, he didn't even get the money, so you didn't even get a chance to even take a piece or have a whiff of that money to even enjoy that money. So you sitting in jail for committing a crime against your family member for green, being greedy for money that you didn't even receive and you can't even enjoy. And now you're going to spend the rest of your life in jail. Like, is it really worth it?
It's
Is it
crazy.
really worth it?
I feel you on that.
It's sad. You don't take, no amount of money is worth taking somebody's life.
Thank you on that for calling in. Thank you. I want to give y'all an update. He's out on bail today. I just got the message that Tim is now out on bail. So they definitely, he just was out. So he's out on bail right now from the Madison County Sheriff's Office. I just got that update. He's out on bail. So we will remain to give you more information on this situation. Definitely praying for the family. People, it's just wow, like this is crazy. He should not have bail. What was he in jail for the first time? He did a bid. You know, he was in jail in the past. He served like 10 years in prison. So I'm getting information as I get it. So he's out on bail, you guys. So I've just received that in my DM. So so I just received that in my DM. So he's out. I think somebody just sent it. Yeah, they say he's out on bail. So we show. Wow. He may be in danger because if it's not my show, you would be safer in jail. Get right with the Lord, y'all. Let's way back. Let's pray for Miss Robbie. Never leave her house until Tim goes back to jail. Hate to say it. Yeah, she definitely need guards. Little Tim with Jenae, another lady just had a baby. I can't remember her name right now. I'm just reading y'all comments. Wow. I just can't believe it. I'm just sitting here. I just lost for words. Wow. Wow. I just cannot believe it that he would do something like this. Wow. Do you think Miss Robbie enabled Tim? I just think that this is Tim. It's just not on Miss Robbie. This is Tim evilness, craziness for him to do something like this. This is all on him. You can't even. This is him. He did it. I would bail him out. People do not need to eat at her restaurant. I think he bailed himself out. He's not broke, y'all. I don't think Miss Robbie bailed him out. I think he bailed himself out. That's one thing about it. That's one thing about it. I think he bailed himself out. That's one thing I can say. He probably got money. So I'm just wow. How do you not value your nephew's life? Did the Fed picks him up today or yesterday? It had to happen today, you guys. They said Jaguar Wright. We talked about Jaguar Wright. Is in like a previous video. What more could we say about that? Smash the like button. Hey, Wiley and producers. Hey, everybody. So y'all heard it here first. Thumbs up the video. I watched the show faithfully. We allowed the callers to call in. This was some original content, an original title. Thank you all for that. For at least calling in. And I'm gonna finish reading my book. I purchased 3 books today. I got let me see what the books that I purchased. I purchased 3 books today, and it was $70. Make Change, Sean King. I got Mary L. Trump book that she wrote about her. Too Much and Never Enough. And I got Charlamagne the God Shook One. So I went today to Barnes & Noble and I got 3 books. So I'm definitely going to read all 3 of those books. And I love investing in myself when it comes to knowledge. And then I'm going to start getting books in finance. So if anybody got any suggestions of books about in finance, let me know. I'm going to get some books in finance as well. So if you got any good books like finance and the book of finance, please email me at wileyshow@gmail.com. But I'm here for it. I got this. And of course, I read Black Privilege. I finished reading that. So, and I'm super excited to read Charlamagne the God book, Shook One. And I'm going to, and read those other 3 books. I just been on my reading spirit. Like I went today and went to get those books, and I'm just going to read and have a good time. I'm not going to hold y'all up. Everybody called in. Y'all heard it here first. If you have any more stories that we need to break, email us at wileyshow@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram. You can follow us directly on Instagram. Let me pull up my IG. If you're not following us, please go follow us. We're really close to 5,000 followers. We're about 5 followers away from 5,000 followers on our IG. We're trying to get to 10,000. So give me a second. Yeah, so there we go. Oh, thank you so very much, Tasha, for that Cash App. Thank you so very much. You sent the Cash App. Thank you so very much for that today. Thank you for that, Tasha. Love you. Love you. Your support. Okay. So you can follow us. We can reach our goal today. We want to at least get to 5,000 followers. You can just follow us on there. We want to get to our 5,000 followers. We are real close. 5 followers, and we'll be at our goal. Good job. This may be serious. I've seen you, Wiley. Okay. I can't believe I live about 45 minutes away from Jackson. Never stop there. Or if I do, we do in groups. Think and grow rich. Thank you. Good job. Good show. Do the Jam Master J case. Okay, I'm gonna have to get into that. I'm gonna have to get some information so I can blow that up, because I believe my radio broke that down. And people they thought I was gonna stop saying my radio name, but I always love her. She will always be my sister, and that ain't gonna never change. So yeah, but if you got any information on that, send it to my DM, and I would love to see it. So if you got any information, you could just send it to my DM, and I'll be down for it. Whew. I will see y'all later. I'm gonna go and finish reading my book. Wow, today was one of those days. Thank y'all so very much for calling in. Thank you for subscribing. If this is your first time watching The Wiley Show, please subscribe. Click that subscribe button and thumbs up. Thank you, and we will see y'all in the next live. Peace.